Luton's first top flight game since the early 90s, their first appearance in the Premier League ever, and they open their season at home, but to the reigning champions. Now this is going to be a big test for Luton Town straight away as they enter the Premier League. Their fans will be full of hope, the players will be pumped up, but Erling Haaland and co will be determined to continue what they have always done and not to fall foul of an excited young team. Let's see what happens against here. So Manchester City kick off. And there we go. They got Silva playing it across to De Bruyne. De Bruyne to Rodri. And now back to De Bruyne. Manchester City trying to keep possession. Go at it early, but Luton have won possession already. Here comes Carlton-Morris. He's going to want to have a go. Plays it across to Chong, the former Manchester United man, of course. Plays it back to Townsend now. And now it's with Morris. Morris going to have a shot. And Ederson had to make the save there. So already Luton are asking questions of Manchester City. Their intentions are clear. They are not coming out to lose this game. They are going to give the champions a battle. And, well, we'll see what happens here. Manchester City taking possession as one would expect. But Luton have already come out to have a go. So that is a key thing to make note of there. That, you know, I think this game's going to be closer than a lot of people might think. Rodri plays it across to Foden. And then Foden having a look around. Luton are keeping their line well at the moment. Plays it back to Silva. They've got through with De Bruyne, but Luton getting an interception. And here's Rodri again. Manchester City just probing. I'm sure in a moment they will find a way through. But they've been dispossessed. Here's Barkley bringing the ball forward for Luton. Knocks it back for Doughty. And, yeah, Luton just playing it back. Just trying to keep possession at the moment because they know the more possession they keep, the better chance they've got of winning the game, or at least not losing the game. If Manchester City find it hard to get on the ball, they're going to find it hard to score. There's Osho, and now Mengi coming through, and now it's with Ross Barkley. Barkley knocks it forward for Zambi, and then Townsend. Here comes Townsend. He's going to free a shot up Barkley, and he's been dispossessed. And Walker knocks it forward for De Bruyne, and Manchester City come forward. De Bruyne knocks it sideways to Foden, and Foden has a look, and then he finds Rodri. Now it's with Haaland. Haaland back to Silva, but again Luton, their defensive line stands tall. And here's Morris. Can he beat Diaz to it? I think he has. He's run out of space and things to do, but he's still Luton. This shows how much they want it. They're still piling on the pressure. And here's Barkley now. Is he going to be able to create a shooting opportunity? Back to Sambi, and now Sambi has a shot, and it's a second save for Manchester City to have to make before they've even had much of an attempt at goal themselves. Here comes Foden now. We're up towards 38 minutes and it's still Luton 0, Manchester City 0. If this would be the full-time result, I'm sure Luton would certainly be happy with it than Manchester City. Now here's Haaland playing it to Rodri. Can Manchester City create anything before half-time? Here's Foden. Back to Rodri again. And now with Foden again. And Foden, and he's found De Bruyne, who finds Haaland in space with a clear shot, and Manchester City have the lead. Well, Luton have fought so hard. They've held on for 42 minutes of this match, but Erling Haaland finds the goal that Manchester City wanted. He only needs maybe one opportunity to get that shot in. Luton, in spite of all of the hard graft they've put into their defence throughout this first half, absolutely delighted Pep, because there's Haaland. One shot, one goal. That's the sort of striker you need. It's the sort of striker that Luton could only dream of having in their team. Of course, no signings for either Luton or Manchester City before this opening game. They both decided to go in with their default squads. Well, can Luton now fight back? Let's see. Here's Chong. And he's been dispossessed but stayed on the ball. And Luton are still looking to... But now it's half-time. Half-time whistle goes. So Luton Town will come off 1-0 down. But I think both themselves and their fans will be very heartened by their first half performance. It's not done for Luton Town yet, not by a long shot. Manchester City got some work to do to wrap up this game. Luton have already looked dangerous, especially in the early stages of the first half. If they come out of the traps fighting again like that in the second, they could well get an equaliser. So this game is far from done, and we look forward to seeing the second half. I think it's going to be an absolute cracker. Luton kick off the second half, and Playing it around the midfield again. They'll try for possession, but Haaland has got a bit of space to run into. But Luton again defending well. And there's, Kabore knocking it forward. Here's Barkley playing it through. And now with Doughty down the left wing. Luton could have a chance here. They've got through. And there's an opportunity, and it's saved from the header. Well, Luton have had 3 shots in this game. Manchester City have only had 1. That is key, though. That's part of winning a game, isn't it? You get 3 shots and you don't score 1. You get 1 shot and you put it away. But the thing is, Luton are finding some space at the start of the second half. Again, they're being allowed way too much room in areas that could develop into potentially dangerous situations. And we'll have to play it back there, but they're still on the ball. Here's Burke holding a very forward line as he the ball is given away. And Manchester City now with a chance to a counter-attack. But again, here comes Grealish now. He's been maybe a little bit quiet in this game, but Manchester City just want to get the result at the end of the day. That is their priority. Hold on to the win. They'll do what they need to do. We're at an hour now. Luton are going to make a change. Chong to come off and Panzu to come on. Will he be able to inject some much needed energy into that Luton side to keep their forward momentum going, to keep them attacking? Because Manchester City will be able to control the game very easily if Luton just run out of steam. Well, here's Silva. And Luton are still, they're making the Manchester City players think about where they need to go. So they're still providing some sort of opposition. There's Haaland, back to Rodri. And now with Haaland again, is he going to find a shooting opportunity? No, he's been dispossessed. And then Panzu with a chance to come forward for Luton. Can they create an opportunity to get the equaliser? And up for Barkley again. And still coming forward. Here's Townsend. And Andros Townsend, is he going to get anything? No, Manchester City get on top of it in the end. And now they may well have a chance to launch an attack of their own. Haaland on the ball and finding Guardiola. And now it's with Silva. Manchester City will try to carve their way forward. Foden looking now for a way around. It seems that Manchester City now do have more energy. At Luton are starting to run out of steam. Here's De Bruyne back to Foden. Still getting a lot of opposition, but there we go. Silva and finds Haaland. Is Haaland? He plays it back. And there's a shot, and it's just off the bar. And Manchester City finally got that second shot of the game. Well, just off the bar, but Luton now will push it forward again. And here's Carlton-Morris, but again, they just don't seem to have the energy. They've done so much running. They've tried so hard. And I'm sure against teams lesser than the champions. Oh, Haaland gets a second goal. And Manchester City now are surely home and dry in this game. There's only 8 minutes to go. And, well, there we go. I was going to say Luton against lesser opposition may well give them something to think about this season. But Manchester City, they have made them think today. But ultimately, there's a reason why they're champions. And they will come out on top in this game. Unless Luton can find a miracle from somewhere in the remaining 8 minutes. Erling Haaland with a brace makes it 2-0. And you can see Luton, the frustration in the faces. Walker now coming off. John Stones coming on. That should shore up the back for Manchester City now. So Luton kick off. And giving it straight away. That shows they're just fatigued now. I think they've given it everything. This is a new challenge for them. And here's Stones. It's looking much more likely that Manchester City are going to find a third than Luton find a consolation or any chance of getting 2 goals back now. Diaz is taking control of this. Manchester City just knocking it around, making Luton, who are already tired, chase the ball. Yeah, this is perfect displaying game management for Manchester City. This is why the champions. Okay, giving the ball away to Kabore there, but it's soon back with the Blues, and they just keep going. And there is the full-time whistle. So, an ideal start to Manchester City's title defence. Luton Town 0, Manchester City 2. Luton gave them a good battle. They look crestfallen, but they needn't be ashamed of themselves. That was a decent fight from Luton Town. And I'm sure as they go through the season, especially if they can sign 1 or 2 players to help out their cause, they may well be a threat. They may well be able to avoid that relegation zone and surprise 1 or 2 people, because that was a good performance. So, Manchester City, though, from their point of view, the start that they needed, the only start that they could really have, because in a team like Manchester City's position, you're damned if you do and damned if you don't, because you expected to win, and if you don't, you've been embarrassed, humiliated, but they did. So there's that result that counts for Manchester City. So not that you necessarily need to see it after one game, but there is the result so far and the fixtures to follow. Luton 0, Manchester City 2. And that result puts Manchester City at the top after one game on 3 points, and Luton at the bottom. Like and subscribe for more. Thank you for watching.